Hello, beautiful. How are you doing today? So, do you ever find yourself looking for a reason to live? Like a real solid one, a really good reason for being here, for being alive. One that will get you up in the morning knowing that even if life is hard, you really want to be here because of this. This makes it worthwhile. I don't have that. And I suspect that many of you don't have that either. And to be honest, I kind of envy people who do. And it makes me wonder, why don't I? Like, what's wrong with me? I mean, clearly, I must be defective because living doesn't seem to cause an existential crisis for most people. And you and me anyway, it's like an ongoing thing. I can't shake it. For us, living without a clear, satisfying understanding of why we are here ends up kind of turning our minds into a kind of torture chamber. And it's not a good place or a fun place to live. But it seems that most people don't go around constantly wondering what's the point, or is what I'm doing enough to justify my existence? They just seem to go about life, the hard stuff, the fun stuff, and they just do it. I have always struggled with finding a reason to live. Maybe it wasn't articulated quite as clearly, but it's something that always inhabited me. But it really, really hit me at the end of my 9-year marriage 3 years ago. And I mean, hit me hard, like get out of the grocery store weeping because life no longer makes sense. And I've kind of been thinking about it and came up with 4 reasons why this what's the point came back with a vengeance at this point for me. And even though I came up with them in the context of my marriage, it doesn't change that it applies to many people, many circumstances. They are principles or feelings, and it really kind of is irrelevant of our story. For me, the really big one was that inside the container of my marriage, love flowed. Love flowed out of me. It had an outlet. Yes, we got divorced, but even even with that, love continued to flow, even if at sometimes it took the shape of caretaking. It's still there was a flow to my capacity to love, and it gave me a purpose. And with that love flowing, it prevented love as an energy to get stuck in my body. So when my marriage ended, I not only lost what I have found was a reason to live, a purpose in life, that love, but also the energy started getting stuck inside my body because it was no longer flowing and it started creating havoc. 2, since I've been on my own, everything has become a have to. At 61, I have to make money. I'm starting from scratch. I have to build a business. I have to take care of my health. During the marriage, we were always in crisis mode, one way or another, and I chose to constantly put my health on the back burner. Oh, even though I live with chronic illness since I was 11 years old. And I have to find a home. I'm also now constantly moving. And overall, I have to find a reason to live. And all those are pretty darn big have to for a sensitive person. And the truth is that HSPs, highly sensitive people, we don't respond to have tos. Our system literally rejects motives based on should, have to, or anything that's treating ourselves like a broken construction project. And there's a reason why our systems react that way. I'll get to that soon. 3, as a highly sensitive woman, the pain and the grievances and the resentments broke me into a million pieces. We are just not designed to withstand that kind of impact. We just don't have the constitution. And my nervous system became so raw from those attacks that it became like the air was hurting my skin. There wasn't a cast to fix that brokenness or an ointment to fix those wounds of my raw nervous system. So there I was, having to fix myself and take care of myself, and my body just resisting all those have tos that I should have done. 4, when you hit that age, somewhere between 55, 65, you just plain start looking for meaning. And as sensitive women, or as sensitive people, it just reinforces this quest of looking for meaning that we've had all our lives. And as women with menopause, every cell in our bodies is telling us, so what am I meant to now? What is my reason for existing? And for those of us who find ourselves alone, it means that we have to reframe, rediscover, reinvent, recreate everything about ourselves. And in that being alone part, it's kind of a paradox that I've talked about it before. Even though HSPs really seek solitude and need a lot of time alone, isolation can actually become quite destructive because of the lack of human connection and the lack of flow these immense feeling and capacity to love that we have inside of us. So that's the perfect storm that I found myself in now at 61 years old. And I've got to admit, it's been rough. I come to you all cheerful, and not always, but almost, and sharing the higher parts of myself. But the whole evolution of these years and of this experience, it's been really rough. And I know that I'm not alone in this. And of course, like all of us who are practically enlightened people who are dedicated to our evolution and our growth, I couldn't stop trying to fix things and address things. And I'm not a quitter, as I imagine you're not either, because you're here. We are actually rather determined people. So I've been actively seeking, healing, hustling, praying, surrendering, meditating, letting go, doing the inner child work, looking at my traumas, all with the goal of fixing myself and finding and redefining me, Annie, the real Annie. I'm sure you can imagine, because you've probably gone through it too, how desperately I have been trying to fix my life. But the really tricky, frustrating part is that nothing really sticks. Not for a long period anyway. It can stick for a few days, for a couple of weeks if I'm lucky, and more often than I care to admit, for just a few hours until something else, some other thoughts, some other feelings, some other brokenness comes and hits me. Sure, I make progress, but those successes are not fulfilling. And the truth is that HSPs are not fueled by success. We are fueled by fulfillment. And that's a huge difference, and something that makes us different from the rest of the population. So that's where I've been for the last 3 years. 3 years just this week. And this weekend, while I was walking in the woods, I had a revelation. I understood why highly sensitive people will never find a good enough reason to live or to care for themselves in this 3D world of goals and expectations and demands. The motivations that are out there in this world do not reach us. Why? Because we are deeply connected to our souls. And the only worthy reasons that will make us do anything have to be soul based. The only language that a highly sensitive person understands without resisting is love. And since the soul's absolute nature is love, joy, curiosity, creativity, expansion, kindness, beauty, any motivation to have any chance of reaching us must be rooted in those soul-based values. All the have-tos, shoulds, and because that's how we do it in the society, will never, ever work for us. Not even if it's wrapped up with pretty paper and a bow. It will never work. My epiphany a few days ago was that I found the quintessential motivation that works for us. Since it came to me, every time I say this to myself, I do the thing that my mind is on. Right now, for me, it's taking care of my body, which I've neglected or treated as an adversary for decades. So, of course, I want to share with you those magical words of that quintessential motivation. But just before I do, I just want to say, it's kind of obvious, but I need to say it, that I don't have a 10-step program to lead you to finding your reason to live. All I have for you is the ability to point you, direct you, or invite you onto the path that I'm just stepping on myself. Okay, so bear with me. The epiphany, I'm almost there. The epiphany was twofold. First, it was like a truth. Yes, life is hard for highly sensitive people, simply because of the highly sensitive nature of our vehicle. It's hard on the existential level, like, why am I here? It hurts. And it's hard on the physical level because our bodies feel and absorb everything, and it hurts. But the point is that we're here. We are here. And unless we make ourselves go away, we're here. We're here in this inhospitable world, a world that was not created for or by highly sensitive people, but a world that needs us. So the question is, what can we do to make our lives a little bit easier? How do we find the motivation to care for ourselves and bring a little bit more ease to the journey that we're experiencing? Okay, now for the goodie, the second part of the revelation of my epiphany. What is the language that our soul-based being will understand and respond to? Here they are. Because I love myself. That's it. Because I love myself. Simple, super powerful. Don't do something because you need to fix yourself. Do it because you love yourself. Don't work at releasing your traumas because you want to get rid of the pain. Work at releasing your traumas because you want to experience more joy and levity because you love yourself. Don't take care of your body because you want to heal or be fit. Do it because you want to move through the world with more ease because you love yourself. Don't work because you have to make money. Work because you want the money that will give you a better experience of life because you love yourself. Because I love myself works because it becomes an act of fulfilling our soul's purpose. Love speaks to us because it's our native language. And the amazing thing is, we can apply it to everything. I'm experiencing with it right now, and it is kind of blowing my mind. With this reframe, when I want to do something for myself and it's really hard to get to it, if I say, Annie, do it because you love yourself, I actually get up and go. So that has been the week that I have spent in that headspace, just embodying more and more and experimenting with this because I love myself. And really, it's a little bit rocking my world. And because it is, for the first time ever, I am hosting a 28-day experience called the Because I Love Myself Project. So, have you probably figured out by now, this will not and is not another healing, fix yourself 28-day modality. It is an experiment in changing our language to get the result we want, and not changing it in the sense of change your thoughts and control all the words that are in your mouth. It's actually using words and, I guess, a frequency of our soul, which is the frequency that we sensitive people respond to. And because I really like the idea of us coming together in a space, in a container that is safe, where we can support each other and share whatever it is that we're experiencing, I've decided to offer this inside my private community, online community for highly sensitive women called Annie Circle. It's $11 a month to join the community. And the 28-day project is completely free and offered inside. It's just one of the segments. We start June 1st. I'm going to be in there every day with you, hopefully with a bunch of you that we can share. I'll be posting my experiences, thoughts. I'm going to show up, be with you. And I really, really hope that you join, because this is life transforming to me. And I would love to have you experience it with me so that it transforms your life too. And as you know, I only share the things that I believe in. And I so believe in this that I've created a program that I'm committing to, which is scary for me, 28 days, committing not just to myself, but to other people. I'm breaking that barrier inside myself because I so believe in it. So I'm going to put the link to Annie's Circle in the description. It's easy. No, I don't know it by heart. I will put it here at the bottom. Please come and join. $11 a month. That's it. I hope to see you there. I love you. Have a beautiful day, afternoon, evening, and join me on my Unfiltered series. It posts on Wednesdays at 11 o'clock. It's a spontaneous impromptu videos where I just share ideas, and when it posts Eastern time at 11, I'm there live to chat with you guys as you watch. So Bye again. Love you again. Always. I'll see you soon. Bye.